Great. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, and I'm joined by two other faculty that are part of the program, Young Ho Sun and Cindy Rohrbeck. As you guys have questions, I'll do my best to handle them, but might lean on the two of them if it's something that they can answer better than me. So thank you for joining. Our goal today is just to give you an overview of the program and answer your questions. So we have slides. I'll go through them pretty quickly and then try to leave as much time as possible to answer your questions. So overall, for our program, this is a brand new program that we're starting right now. So we're recruiting the first class that will be coming in and starting for fall of 2025. It is run through the GW's Department of Psychological and Brain Sciences. I'll tell you about more of that in a slide or two. There's a lot more details about the program and about our department on our department website, which is here. The overall goals of the program are to train students both in research methods, statistics, and broad psychological theory. The real goal here is to prepare students by giving them foundational knowledge in research methods and stats, and as well as psychological concepts and theories. We have an explicit and intentional focus on both qualitative and quantitative methods. When putting together this program, we talked with a lot of different groups, different industry groups, government groups, different people in corporate positions, and asked them, if they were to start up a master's program focused on applied issues, what would they want? And for people that they would look to hire, what skill sets would they want? And one theme that came out was there's plenty of people that have good qualitative skills, and there's plenty of people that have good quantitative skills, but there aren't that many people that could actually do well at both. And for a smaller company, if you have a few people that have a psychology background, whether human factors or any sorts of issue, being able to do both and having the ability to evaluate focus groups information, to look at survey data, to look at collected behavioral data, to read a paper and be able to understand what's going on and to be able to impart that information to your colleagues is really powerful. And so they would love to have people that have both of those skills. And then same for larger organizations where there's a team, the more broad that person is, the more they're able to cross between groups, the more influential and the easier it is for them to continue to advance. So that became a large focus of how we designed this program. We want to provide a broad education in human behavior. Our department here at GW has 3 program areas, and I'll talk about those in a second: cognitive neuroscience, clinical, and social. And we really want to lean into the strengths of each of those to provide the students in this master's program with direct foundational training in all 3 of those pillars. And really the broad goal here is to improve employment potential. And just to be very clear, and I'll say more on the next in a slide or two as well, but our goal is to help people get a job. We want to help people get a job in industry and corporations and nonprofit and government sectors. Our goal is not necessarily to train people to become a better applicant for a PhD or a PsyD program, and we're not training people to become a therapist directly out of our program. That's not what this is about. It's about helping people get a job. And that could be for people coming relatively new out of undergrad who are looking to bolster their skills and build it up. And it could also be people who are already in industry or coming from different areas who want to get that additional training to make themselves into a more attractive candidate. So as I mentioned before, we did a lot of talking with different people in different roles to try to anticipate what kind of jobs people could get out of a program like this. And so here on the left are examples of possible job titles. And when we explicitly ask people, here's our program, here's what we're thinking, what kind of job can this person have? And the responses we got were extremely positive. People were really excited about what we were putting together. And these are a sample, these are examples of some of the different titles that people suggested, either by sending us actual jobs and saying, like, I think the person would be qualified for this, or saying, well, in my field, these are the kinds of roles that an individual with a master's from a program like that would likely be a good candidate for. These are some of the companies that came up as well. Some of these we have direct contacts with through some of the research and connections that faculty in our program have. Others are ones that we know, different individuals. For example, the very bottom one, JS Held, and we were at a conference in November. I was talking to one of the people there who runs up the human factors group, told him about our program, and he's like, absolutely, we would look for people both for internships and for full-time positions. Our goal is to create a resource for the students in the program where they would have a list of possible areas, specific companies, and ideally for as many as we can put together, direct contact information on who is the person you would reach out to that company to try to get your foot in the door with an internship or a full-time position. As I noted before, I want to take a moment and just make this point clear, because the word psychology and the word applied can have many different meanings and different meanings to different people. And so I just want to make sure we're all on the same page that our program is not designed to train people for clinical practice. Now, clinical psychology is one of the core pillars of our department. We have amazing researchers and instructors in our department that focus on aspects of clinical psychology. They're very much a part of this program. There is one foundational course that's directly part of this program that comes from the clinical program called community psychology. There are different electives that are available as well, but this program is not designed to train therapists. We're not designed to train social workers or clinical practitioners. There are other clinical master's programs that you could seek for that kind of training. This is not really a way to gather credits or to get hours or anything like that to make yourself a better candidate for a clinical PhD or a PsyD program. And there's nothing in this program that directly involves training to obtain a license to practice as a therapist. Okay, and I'm happy to answer questions about that, but hopefully that's clear. So to go over our course overview for the program, there are 4 foundational core courses tied to research methods and statistics. And this is a sequence of research methods, multiple regression, qualitative methods, and the machine learning using R. Paired with this is 4 foundational content courses. The first is a seminar that's really set aside just for the students in this program. There are the other classes, for the most part, will be a mix of both PhD students and master's students, where this 6100 professional seminar is reserved only for the students in this program. And it's meant to spend some time with different faculty members talking about issues related to both the academic side of being a student in the program, but also ideas about getting jobs and performing ethically, practice on giving presentations and writing, and really to try to develop professional skills. Beyond that, there'll be 1 foundational core course from the 3 pillars of our department, 1 in clinical, 1 in cognitive neuroscience, and 1 in social psychology. Those 8 courses are then advanced with 4 elective courses. This is the list we have right now. The list will probably grow and change over the years as we work with different departments and classes come and go in our department. But this is what we have, and it's a wide variety of different classes. A lot of them are from our department, but there are also some from other departments on campus as well. For those who are interested directly in research, we have an optional research track that you would do most likely in the 2nd year of the program, and it would satisfy 2 of the 4 elective courses for the program, and it would involve working directly with a faculty supervisor, being involved with research projects in their lab. The students who are interested in more hands-on research are encouraged to reach out to faculty in our program and attend lab meetings and be a part of the lab efforts. Those who really want to get involved, this optional research track provides a means to be in doing research where you have your own project that you're helping out with and being a part of within a lab environment. This is a sample of what a 2-year schedule might look like. There's a lot of room for things to move around, but you can imagine in the first year, taking research methods in a professional seminar, and then one elective. And then in the spring of that first year, taking the next stats, and then one of the other two foundational courses, or one of the two foundational courses that is offered that semester in an elective, and then continuing on. And so the top courses are the core ones, the 8 that are required for the program. The other down below are the electives that you'll fill in those 4, and you could do it differently depending on whether you take that optional research track or not. For the faculty involved in the program, we are brand new. We're just starting out. So I'm serving as the director of the program. Cindy, who's on the call here, Dwight Kravitz and Tanya Dodge are serving as our advisory committee as we kick things off. And then here's all the faculty that are in our department that are part of the program. And I have them broken up by the 3 different program areas in our department, but we're a very collaborative group, and people kind of blend these different labels and cross the lines. But all of these faculty are involved in the program, and all would be potentially available as a mentor for the optional research track. And teaching the courses that are involved in the program to different extents. For the admissions, your application, you would need 2 letters of recommendation, a undergraduate degree in psychology or related field. And related field we're pretty loose with. Really, our goal for that is we want to make sure that the admitted students are set up for success. We want you to perform well and succeed both within our program, but also beyond as you go to get a job. And so if all we really want to know is, are you going to be okay in those research methods and stat classes? Are you going to be okay in those foundational courses? And so if you've done stuff that is loosely related, but you have enough of a background that you feel you're going to be fine in those courses, then great. Then we're happy with that. Your application should have a 250 to 500 word essay about why you're applying to our program and what you see as the fit. And then if applicable, there's the minimum scores there. No GRE scores are required. And there's no specific required prerequisite courses. So there's no 1 or 2 or 3 courses that if you don't have, you're not eligible. So as I said about the degree, it's really, we just want to make sure you have an appropriate background to be able to be successful in the program and beyond. For the actual process, you'll submit your application through GW's application portal. If you submit by February 1st, then you're eligible to be considered for merit-based fellowships. And I'll say more about that on the next slide. April 1st is the final deadline. And so there's no room beyond that, as far as I know, but maybe there is. Again, this is our first year doing this, but our goal, we have our admissions committee, we'll get all the applications in, we will review them as a team and figure out the right way to evaluate the applications to make sure we have a class that's really going to be an exciting group that is set up for succeeding. The tuition fees and expenses, this is for across George Washington University for master's programs. So it's per credit hour. This is a full-time 2-year program is how it's designed. So which is 18 credits per year, which comes out to a little over $36,000 in tuition fees. If you apply by February 1st, you are eligible to be considered for merit-based fellowship and funding opportunities. The most common is the Dean's Award. which he could say more than I can, but my understanding is the goal here is a little bit for everybody. So rather than a couple of people getting a ton of support, it's lots of people get some support. And the goal is to provide 10 to 20% of tuition costs as an award to reduce the burden for most. Now, there's two other awards that are internal to GW that are more attractive. There are a larger amount of the tuition costs covered. The Global Leaders Award and the Minority Serving Institution Award. And if you go to that link above, there's more information about all that. One question that comes up is, are there graduate instructional assistantship opportunities available? So can you be a TA and use that to help cover some of the costs? We're not in a position to guarantee or offer that at this stage. Our department has TA needs, and often, but not always, we have more TA needs than we have PhD students that are serving in those roles, and we need to hire additional people to help cover those courses. If we find ourselves in that situation, then our master students would get the first chance at filling those spots, and we would figure out a fair way to distribute those amongst the master students that are there. But it's not a guarantee and it's not a promise. It's not a, one person comes in with a promise of an assistantship. It would be a semester by semester. If there happens to be one, then we'll figure out the right way to allocate it fairly. And I think that's it. So I'm happy to take questions from here, and yeah, thank you.